The Appalachian Mountains stretch nearly 2,000 miles. From Georgia to Maine, people call them beautiful, peaceful, untouched. But they don't talk about what lies beyond the marked trails. The places where GPS fails, where your phone goes dark, and the trees all start to look the same. Every year, hikers vanish without a trace, their gear found neatly packed, sometimes a tent, sometimes a shoe, miles from the trail, but never a body, never a scream, just silence. Locals don't ask questions, not because they don't care, but because they already know. And the people who know, they stay quiet. They live by rules most of us have never heard. Rules like, don't whistle after dark, don't speak your name past sundown, and whatever you do, don't follow voices, even if they sound familiar. You think I'm telling a story? I'm not. What you're about to hear happened in 2021. The man who recorded it hasn't spoken publicly since. His footage never aired. The file was removed from his channel within 24 hours. But we recovered it. And after months of silence, we got permission to share what he experienced. We blurred the worst parts, but the sound is untouched. This is not a dramatization. It's one man's true account of something he wasn't supposed to survive. Subscribe if you're not afraid of the truth, and stay until the end, because what he found, it's still out there. The Appalachian Mountains don't just stretch across states. They stretch across memory, across generations, 2,000 miles of forest, ridges, valleys, caves no one's ever mapped, trails older than this country, places where the trees haven't been touched since before the Civil War. There are counties out here where the population has dropped by half in the last 20 years. Towns with no police force, no street lights, places where you drive 5 hours and never pass another car. And still, people come. Hikers, campers, survivalists, all chasing something. Beauty, solitude. Some don't come back. Most vanish without sound. No broken branches, no signs of struggle. Their last known location? A campsite perfectly arranged, a trail camera with one frame missing, a voicemail that cuts off halfway through. Locals call these places no-return zones, areas where GPS glitches, compasses spin, radios lose signal and don't come back. But there are stories, not the kind people post online, the kind they pass down at kitchen tables. Stories about people seen walking out of the woods barefoot, eyes unfocused, muttering in voices that weren't theirs. Stories about gutted deer left upright, posed like they were praying. About campfires still burning with no one nearby, and chanting, low rhythmic sounds carried by the wind long after midnight. There are whispers about old families, not just reclusive, removed, changed. Generations raised without contact, language, or light. People who don't call 911, who don't need maps, who don't want to be seen. And there are symbols, scratched into bark, into bone, into rock walls sealed shut by time. No one knows what they mean, but when hikers find them they turn around. Fast. Ask the rangers. They won't go past certain points. Ask the locals. They won't say names after dark. Ask the families of the missing, and they'll tell you, no one looked hard enough. But that's not the truth. They looked, and they found enough to know. Some trails weren't meant to be followed. His name was Casey, 29, solo hiker, amateur documentarian, one of those rare people who didn't post for views. He just wanted to be out there, in the quiet, away from everything. He filmed everything. Every trip had a plan, a folder, a backup battery, and a printed trail map sealed in a Ziploc bag. He wasn't reckless. He was careful. Too careful to vanish. In October 2021, Casey planned a 9-day hike. He told friends he'd be posting the series after editing, like always. But only one person got a copy of what he shot: himself. He mailed a hard drive to his own P.O. box, something he'd started doing in case of theft. When he picked it up 2 weeks later, he looked thinner, quiet, different. He never posted the series, never explained why. Friends said he became withdrawn, deleted his social media. And one night, out of nowhere, he sent a voice message to an old trail forum under a new account. The subject line said, "Don't follow the whistle." It was up for 5 minutes, long enough for one user to save it. "I'm gonna say this once. I don't want attention. I don't want anyone looking for the clip. Just stop hiking near that ridge past mile marker 82. I don't care what trail map says, it doesn't go where you think it does." I heard something. It wasn't an animal. It knew where I was. It moved fast, but the sound came from somewhere else. Like it was using the trees. There's a pattern to the whistling. 3 notes, then silence. Then you hear it again, but it's behind you. You'll think you're circling, but you're not. You're being herded. I saw something in the tree line. Not a person. I thought it was... I don't know what I thought, but it didn't move right. And its face, it didn't have one. Just a shape. Pale. Still. Casey never clarified what happened. He still won't speak on it. But the footage he recorded, parts of it survived. What you're about to see has never aired publicly. The file was scrubbed, flagged, and removed. But we recovered enough to understand why Casey never went back. He was never known for making things up. He just recorded what was there. And in October 2021, something was. The footage begins like so many others. Casey had done dozens of hikes alone, across deserts, marshes, high-altitude routes. But this one was different before he even knew it. You can hear it in how quiet he is. He usually talks, explains the trail, tells stories. Here, he's listening. The trail narrows as he moves deeper. There's no signage. The markers stop, and the ground becomes soft, like it hasn't been walked in years. But someone had been there. He finds a camp, a single tent, weatherproofed, zip, intact, but no fire, no sound, no bags, no footsteps, just the tent sitting there, like it's waiting. He doesn't unzip it. Later he said he didn't know why. Something about the air. He said it felt wrong, not threatening, not even dangerous, just wrong, as if he had stepped somewhere he shouldn't have. Not illegal, uninvited. He finds the first symbol, not a letter, not anything that makes sense. Etched deep, too deep for a pocket knife. The lines are old but not weathered, and something about the shape, it bothers him. We asked experts. No known markings, no cultural record, no record at all. He thinks it's a bird. It's not. Birds change pitch. They call and respond. This one? It doesn't echo. It doesn't break rhythm. It plays and it stops. And it keeps doing it. Every 30, maybe 40 seconds. Same notes. No variation. No direction. It's not moving, or it's moving around me. I've been hiking since I was 17. I've been followed by coyotes. I've camped through thunderstorms. But this is something I don't understand. I should have turned back, but I didn't. I wanted footage. Instead, I got something else. The forest didn't change suddenly. There was no shift, no snap, just less light. Less sound, less sense. Casey's GoPro skipped. Once, then again. A 3-second delay with no loss in footage, but a break in continuity. One moment he's mid-step, the next he stopped. The camera didn't fall. He didn't move, but something did. He'd been trying to retrace his path. The trail markers were gone. Trees repeated. Not just similar, repeated. Same growth, same pattern, same fallen branch at the same unnatural angle. He sees the symbol again, only now it's deeper, like it had just been made, and there's a trace of something red around the edge. Not paint, not sap. He hears it, something stepping, not running, not even chasing, just matching his pace. It's close, but the trees show nothing, not even motion, not even breath. The pattern breaks, a whisper, not from outside, inside. A thought, uninvited. I need to go. I'm not supposed to be here. He said it didn't sound like a voice. It sounded like someone else's decision inside his head. He keeps moving. His pace quickens. He no longer follows the trail. He just follows space, distance, away from the hand, away from the thoughts. He hears it, just once, a whisper in the trees. He turns. Just a hand, not reaching, not gesturing, just there. Well, wrong. Too long. The thumb is lower than it should be. The palm doesn't curve right. He stares, doesn't breathe. The hand doesn't move. Nothing followed. Nothing remained. But that moment, the hand, the pause, that's when he knew. Something out here was showing itself on purpose. After the hand vanished, there was no decision. He didn't think. He just moved. Away from the tree. Away from the clearing. Away from the pattern. But the woods weren't done with him. He'd crossed some line. And now it wasn't about finding a way out. It was about staying ahead of something that didn't need to be seen to be close. He fell. Hard. His ankle twisted at a sharp angle. The footage cuts, then resumes. He drags himself to a sitting position. And then you see it, his face for the first time since the footage started. No screaming, no begging, just scanning the trees, listening for something that didn't want to be heard. That's when he saw it. A split in the ridge, covered by leaves and old growth. No path leading to it. No reason for it to be there. But it was open. He didn't run into safety. He crawled into something older than the trees. The air changed instantly. The warmth was gone. The smell was the first thing he noticed. Not rot, not decay, but breath. Warm, damp. Some bones were too small. Others were too smooth. One had a watch still wrapped around the wrist. The time was stopped. He was inside something's memory. A place used more than once. A place meant to be returned to. Then came the sound. Not a growl. Not a footstep. Breathing. Slow. Measured. Confident. Like the thing behind it had waited before. And would wait again. He said it didn't chase. Didn't threaten. It just shared space. Like it knew he wouldn't leave. Like it didn't need to stop him. He later said, I wasn't alone. I heard breathing behind me. Not fast. Calm. Like whatever it was, knew it had time. No one knows how he got out. Not even Casey. At 3:12 a.m., a Department of Transportation camera recorded a man stepping out of the woods near mile marker 37. He didn't wave. Didn't collapse. Just stood there until a passing truck slowed down. The driver called 911, said the man looked lost, but not panicked. When officers arrived, Casey didn't run. He didn't ask where he was. He asked something else. Did anyone else hear it? His vitals were normal. No hypothermia. No signs of infection, dehydration, or exposure. And yet, he couldn't explain anything that happened after sundown. Couldn't retrace his route. Couldn't remember where he exited the cave. He just said one thing, over and over. It let me go, or it stopped caring, or maybe it just wanted me to talk. I've never believed in stories. I've believed in mistakes, bad maps, wildlife, stress, isolation. But what I saw out there, it wasn't confused. It wasn't territorial. It wasn't curious. It was waiting, and it knew I was coming. I went out there with cameras, with food, gear. I planned for everything, and none of it mattered. So I'm not posting the full video. If you're watching this, I already deleted it. I won't name the ridge. I won't share the trailhead. And I won't answer messages about what I think it was. All I'll say is this. Something lives in those woods. Something that doesn't like to be seen. Don't go looking for it. Whether you believe Casey or not, doesn't change what's already happening. People disappear in the Appalachians, more than anywhere else on the eastern seaboard. Hikers, campers, hunters, most are found, some are not. And for every name that makes the news, there are others that don't. We tell ourselves it's nature, that the woods are big, that people get lost, but some of the families left behind don't accept that. And neither do the rangers who won't search certain ridges after dark. Some places aren't mapped because they can't be. Some trails don't change, they erase. And some things that live out there don't mind being forgotten. The question isn't whether Casey made it up. It's how many others never got the chance to tell their version. You're going to think about this tonight, when it's quiet. When something outside breaks a branch just once and nothing follows, you'll wonder if you heard 3 notes, or if your mind filled in the rest. If this story chilled you, hit like, comment what you think Casey saw, and subscribe, because next week, we're covering the 3 hikers who never came back from Devil's Ridge.